At the edge of a big forest, where the brook sang and the moss smelled sweet, lived a little raccoon named Mickey. Mikey was curious, cheerful, and a bit mischievous. Every day he came up with a new adventure. One morning, as he stretched, yawned, and climbed out of his hollow tree, he looked around and noticed something unusual. "Where's my shadow?" Mikey wondered, glancing all around. The sun was shining, and shadows danced across the ground. The shadow of a squirrel, the shadow of a stump, even the shadow of a leaf swaying in the wind. But Mikey's shadow was nowhere to be seen. "That's strange. Maybe it's just taking a break," he muttered to himself and set off. At the first fork in the forest path, he met an old badger. The badger was sitting on a rock, half asleep. "Mr. Badger, have you seen my shadow?" Mikey asked cautiously. "Your shadow?" There was a storm last night, and the wind bent the trees this way and that. Maybe it carried your shadow away." "Try asking the branches," the badger mumbled, closing his eyes again. Mikey ran to the tallest spruce in the area and called out, "Branches, twigs, have you seen my shadow?" The spruce rustled and replied, "The wind blew hard last night, but it didn't take your shadow. Maybe it went down to the river. That river often takes things that don't belong to the water." By the river, a dragonfly sat on a stone, drying its wings. "Dragonfly, have you seen my shadow?" Mikey asked, growing a little desperate. "I saw it," said the dragonfly softly. "Your shadow went along the riverbank, looking sad. It said you don't need it anymore since you're always running after something new and never paying attention to it." Mikey felt a pang in his heart. He remembered playing with his shadow, how it showed him different shapes, and how he could always rely on it being there. Lately, he had truly ignored it. He ran along the river, calling out, "Shadow, shadow, come back to me. I'm sorry I ignored you. I love you, and I miss you." At that moment, something moved behind him. On a rock under a pine tree, the dark shape appeared. Mickey's shadow. It looked a little pale, but it smiled. "I heard you," it said softly, "and if you mean it, I'll come back." Mikey nodded, touched all the way to the tip of his tail. From that day on, he never forgot that everyone has a shadow, and that even shadows need a little attention and love sometimes. And as the sun set that evening, Mikey and his shadow danced along the forest path, two inseparable friends. I hope you enjoyed the story. Please subscribe and come back during the week to hear another one. Over the weekend, regular specials for moms and for little teens will land on the channel.